You go back the last couple of Januaries, you weren't necessarily healthy.
It was frustrating. You know, ending my season the way I did the last 2 years in early December, it was tough. It was tough for me, and then to see the team just go on a roll and go into January playing playoff games, it was tough for me to watch from the sideline.
Wentz just threw a laser.
I mean, I've been chomping at the bit for this opportunity to play in the playoffs. I'm fortunate, I'm thankful that I'm healthy, I feel good, and I'm ready to roll.
Boston Scott did it!
These guys are coming off the practice squad, the street, wherever.
A lot of young guys that no one knew about just started making plays out of nowhere. No matter who's out there, we're going to get the job done, and the run that we've been on, you know, hopefully we can continue.
That's later on when the Philadelphia Eagles, after hanging on to win the NFC East, are going to open up their third straight playoff season with Doug Peterson later on today against the Seahawks. And longtime Eagle John Runyon Sr. is maintaining his own connection to the game. And the new series, Passing It Forward, which showcases how the game binds generations of families, Runyon shares the next step of his football journey with his son, John Jr. Off campaign. Go forward.
That's right, and he led an Eagles offense in Week 12 that was basically held to a field goal until the last couple of seconds of the game, held to that by this Seahawks defense that they will see here today. And in talking to Seahawks sources after the game, they said, we felt that offense, the Eagles offense, was a little predictable. When I brought that up to some Eagles players this week, they said, that's overstated. It was more about we were already putting new faces in key places to make up for some injuries, and also about execution. And that day, it was also extremely windy. That messed with Carson Wentz for the entire game. Right now, we've got about 20-mile-an-hour sustained winds. However, they are expected to die down a bit as we get closer to game time, looking at about 10-mile-an-hour winds once we kick off here. Now to Kurt and Irv.
Yeah, I think so. Did you add anything, Coach?
Thank you. All right, so look, Kyle, listen, the Seahawks, they're dealing with some injuries. So are the Eagles at this point. And it's like, well, the injuries haven't been a problem this far, so why are they going to start now? You think the injuries are going to end up catching up to them?
Maybe for some other team in some other town, Colleen, but here's the thing. All these guys, these Greg Wards, Boston Scotts, Perkins, these guys have been playing for over a month now. This whole winning streak has been them. It's not like they're plucking them off the bench for this game. I just feel this way, like, this is a new season. The fantasy titles have been given out. The Pro Bowl rosters have been named. If you look at the top receivers right now this year, Julio, Chris Godwin, Devontae Parker. Do you know what those guys are doing today? They're sitting on the couch watching Greg Ward Jr. play a football game. I mean, that's a wild thing, but it's true.
Right. I know. And listen, per our Mike Garafolo, we got Zach Ertz playing today. You got Miles Sanders coming back. Jalen Mills is going to be okay on the other side of the ball. But when Brandon Brooks went down last week, the Eagles were missing 7 of their 11 offensive starters from Week 1. That is a ton. And I think the Brandon Brooks injury kind of went under the radar a little bit, because I think that might be for them the biggest one to overcome. All the skill position players, they get the attention and everything because those are the big names. But this is a big deal with Lane Johnson out. That's the entire right side of the offensive line. But you know what? Nobody I've talked to in Philly, they don't care. Everybody believes that they're winning, no problem today.
It's a funny thing.
Me too.
This doom and gloom Philly thing, I think that thing died when the Philly special was completed. Everybody I've talked to, guys in the room, does anybody think that maybe Russell Wilson wins this today? Anybody? He's a very good player, guys. There's none of that. The taxi drivers just say, no, we got this. They don't care who's playing.
I had an Uber driver from Syria who was an Eagles fan, and he was like, oh, absolutely, the Eagles are going to win.
No problem.
So, listen,
Syrian Uber drivers have our back.
That is right.
That's right.
So we shall see today what happens on the field. But, guys, get comfy, because we're not going anywhere. There is plenty more to come on the show, and right here from New Wave Cafe in Philadelphia.
Oh, baby. Well, you're going to have to bring that outdoor voice, obviously, to where he is right now. Right now with our Colleen Wolfe. Take it away at the New Wave Cafe that's already filled with patrons this early in the morning in Philly. Take it away.
Come on, Colleen, do it with me.
Yes,
here we are. We know this idea that here in Philly that the Eagles don't have it. It's fugazi, it's fugazi, it's awazi, it's fairy dust. It doesn't exist. And as I turn here in Philly to my favorite Wolf of Philadelphia, Colleen, we know we did the dogs, Colleen. We did them a couple years ago.
Yeah,
we got a Super Bowl. This team is hungrier. They're savvier. They're survivors. They're not dogs, ladies and gentlemen. They are wolves, and Doug Peterson is the Wolf of Broad Street. Let's go!
You're exactly right. That piece, it really spoke to me as a Wolf and also abroad, too. I thought you did a fantastic job. But, guys, first of all, I want to welcome you and everybody watching to my former living room here at New Wave with some of the best people in the entire world here. And, look, I spent probably way too much time
A lot of time here.
You could throw a stone to where I used to live. And
there it is.
To the point where, Cope, can I have this bag here?
What do you got?
This bag here is just a bunch of keys from everybody in the neighborhood, because this is where you would bring your spare key in case you got locked out. So we got the entire neighborhood here. We got 2 bags filled.
Those are house keys, the people that around here? Those would be my keys to victory back in the day.
There's a car key in here, too. So, listen, we're going to have some former Eagles stopping by, some Eagles cheerleaders. Swoop, I feel like I'm hosting Philly prom right now. We got a family table over there. My parents are here, my friends.
And someone's crashing the prom over your right shoulder there. A couple of people. We got wolves. You are the prom queen, but we got wolves. These people are, oh, my gosh.
I love it.
This is my
kind of place. We have much more game day morning still ahead right here on NFL Network.